Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to install the Britax Max-Way. Now Britax have two versions of the Max-Way. There is just the regular Max-Way and the Max-WayPlus. So before I install one of them, I'm just going to talk you through the differences because they are more or less identical. So in terms of installation there is no difference, but I just want to show you what the differences are. I've placed the two seats on the floor here next to each other against the wall just to show you the difference between the two. So the one on the left is the Max-Way and the one on the right is the Max-WayPlus. Now the only differences between these two seats, they are completely identical in shape and size, but the Max-Way has a smaller headrest. If I come a bit closer, you'll see the headrest on the Max-Way is fairly small. The Max-WayPlus has a deeper headrest. The Max-WayPlus also has different pads with stitching and the Britax-Römer logo on them, whereas the Max-Way just has plain pads, and the fabric feels slightly different. And also, if I come around the side here, you'll see that on the side of the Max-Way there is nothing there, it's just plain. Whereas if I now go around the other side on the Max-WayPlus, you will see that there is a knob there on the side that you twist out when the seat is inside the car, and that is its side impact protection. Now I've also, just to make this video as complete as possible, included this one, which is an old version of the Max-Way. The only reason I'm showing you this one too is because this one had different tether strap attachments. Instead of buckles, it's got hooks. But once I install the seat in the car, I will come back to that in a minute, but that's why this one is here, but it's an older version. And then I thought, while I'm doing a video, I might as well also include the Britax Highway, which is actually not exactly the same as the Max-Way. The Highway 2 is a seat that's widely available in Scandinavia, but not so much here in the UK. However, because the installation is so similar or practically identical to the Max-Way, I just wanted to include it in this video because I know that some people do have it, and also some people from outside of the UK may be watching this. So I'll begin with this one. This is the Highway, and the only main difference between these, this one and the other seat, is that this one doesn't have a built-in headrest. And the other difference is the way that the recline bar underneath is adjusted. You'll see on the Max-WayPlus, and the regular Max-Way has this too, you've got two orange buttons, whereas on the Highway you've got two little grey rings. So the way that the recline on the Highway is adjusted is by removing these clips. You just pull them off the sides, one here, and then lean the seat back a little bit and slide this bar down, and then you need to line up the holes in the two poles, one on the inside, one on the outside, and once you've got a clear hole, you put the pin back in and just click it into place, and the same on the other side. And on the Max-Way, the way that you adjust the recline is just you lean the seat back a little bit, you put your thumbs on these orange buttons, and then you just pull the bar down until it clicks into place. As always, with any car seat that rear faces up to 25 kilos, the first thing you do is attach the tether straps to the runner rails of the front seat. The straps have a loop at one end, and you want to make that length with the loop quite long away from the buckle, and you do that by turning the buckle towards the loop and then just sliding the strap to lengthen it. Now I'm lucky in this car that I've got built-in tether loops there, so all I need to do is just get the loop on the end of the strap, pass it through the tether loop in the car, then get the buckle and pass the buckle through the loop in the end of the strap and pull it tight. Most cars don't have those, and that isn't a problem at all. All you need to do is just pass the strap either under the runner rail of the front seat or through what's known as the seat bite, which is the slit in the seat itself. Now the instructions for this car seat tell you to just use the seat bite. I prefer to use the rails because they point the straps lower down, sort of on an angle, whereas if you go through the back of the seat, it ends up more horizontal, which I think makes it harder to pull them tight. But in some cars you can't get to the rails, and then going through the seat is your only option. I have actually made another video showing you how to tether or how to attach the tether straps in a variety of different cars, and I will put a link to that video in the description below this one. So just to show you what you would do in a car where you don't have built-in tether loops, I'm just going to pass the strap under the rail like you would in any other car. I'm lucky that in my car the rail is really high up off the floor, so it's very easy to get to. If it's a bit more difficult in your car, you may need a blunt knife to push the strap through. And then once you've done that, you just repeat the same thing. You go through this loop with the buckle, and then you just pull the whole thing tight until it's firmly in place. So I've now placed the seat inside the car with a bit of a legroom gap here. And the first thing you now need to do is undo these blue clips on the side. There is one here, there's also one on this side. So you then get the seatbelt buckle tongue. I've pulled out quite a bit of length, and you get the buckle and pass it up from underneath. There is a hole in the shell, as well as in the fabric cover. So you pull the belt up from underneath there, and then you need to pass the seat belt buckle tongue through the hole in the cover, past the buckle underneath, over to the other side, and pull it through that hole. And you then pass the buckle tongue through the hole in the cover and the hole in the shell, all the way out towards the seatbelt buckle. You then make sure the seat is still positioned in the right place, make the belt a little bit longer and click it in, and you then hold the seat in place with your right hand, and with your left hand, obviously depending on what side the car is on, but this is on the passenger side, pull the belt as tight as you can, pull it through and lock this clip into place. That's it. And on this side, you only lock the lap belt into the clip, but not the diagonal belt, which stays above it. So you just close that clip until it clicks. And I'm now going to attach the tether straps to the back of the Max-Way. So on the back here, you've got two buckle tongues on the end of a little bit of strap, and you've got a buckle on the end of the main tether itself. So you just get this buckle tongue and click it into here, and then pull the tether strap tight. And you do the same with this one. Click this into place and pull it tight. And just to make sure that I've covered every possibility, you may have an older Max-Way that used to have hooks on the end of the tether straps and little loops here on the end, rather than the big grey buckles with the green button. So if you've got one of these, all you would have needed to do is clip this onto here, and the same with this one. And I've now just placed the Highway next to the Max-Way in the boot of my car, just to show that they do both use the same tether straps with the grey buckles on the end, but whereas the Max-Way has the buckle tongues on little straps on the back, on the Highway the buckle tongue is attached to the side of the seat without a strap. For this bit, I've just climbed into the front seat of my car, because sometimes when you're standing on the outside next to the door, it's not possible to pull the tether strap on the inside as tight as it needs to go. So it's easier to climb into the front and then just give it a good pull straight down until it's nice and tight. Now the last thing left to do is to drop the support leg all the way down to the floor. Now if you read the instructions for the Max-Way, you'll see that Britax say you need to extend the leg to be 3 centimeters off the floor before you tighten the tether straps, and then when the tethers are long enough, the leg will have come down just enough to make contact with the floor. I don't find that way very easy, so I prefer to do it in the way that I've just shown you, where I do the tether straps first and then I just do the leg last, as you would do with any other car seat. I just find that a little bit too complicated. To extend the leg down to the floor, what you need to do is angle it out as far as these straps will allow. Then you pinch these two red buttons on either side of that grey block. The leg will drop down, and then you lift that grey block up until those red buttons pop back out. And when the leg is properly locked into place, you will see a little bit of green coming down from underneath the grey block, and that means it's securely locked into place. So that was how to install this car seat step by step. I'm now going to do it in one take, just to show you how long it actually takes in real life. So here we go, just place the car seat. I've already obviously left the tether straps in place. The recline bar is already out. You position the seat with the support leg behind it, not tucked under, the lips slightly over the edge of the seat, just to give the child enough leg room. And then you open the blue clips. They're already open. Blue clips at the side open. Get the seat belt, and with enough length, pass that belt up through this hole and then under the cover. First of all, up through the hole in the fabric and then down through the hole in the shell. That just makes it a bit easier if you do it that way. And then give it a little bit more length and buckle it in. Then position the seat where you want it to be. Make sure you don't lose that leg room. Push it into the car. Pull the belt really tight and lock that into place. And then on this side, you lock just the lap belt, but not the diagonal belt. And then we go to the back to attach the tether straps. So this one, just need to lengthen them again because they were still short from when they were tight before. Click that one in there, pull it tight. If you do this one first, you may actually be able to avoid going into the front seat. And this one second. Pull this tight, and then drop the leg down to the floor until that locks into place. Whoops, with a little bit of green showing. And that's it. So there it is, complete Max-Way installation. I think that only took a couple of minutes. The one thing you do need to do, the Max-WayPlus has this knob here on the side. Now the one that faces into the car, you don't need to do anything with, but the one that's here on the side of the door needs to be twisted all the way out as far as it will go. So that's how you install the Britax Max-WayPlus rear-facing car seat up to 25 kilos. If you have any questions, please leave me a message in the comment box below, or you can message me on my Facebook page, Rear Facing Toddlers. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.